Hey everybody, welcome to Studio SNC. Let's begin today lying down. So make your way down onto your mat and place your feet a little wider than hip width apart, so maybe even mat distance apart, and allow your knees fall into each other. So you're resting your knees against each other and you're resting the arms wide or slightly wide from the body with the palms facing up. Not engaging any tummy muscles here. Allow the head to gently move from side to side and then take a deep breath into the belly, filling up. Breathing out with a sigh through the mouth. Doing this again 2 more times. Breathing in, allowing your breath to slow the body. Breathing out, letting it go. And last time, deep breath in. And breathe out, just let that breath go. Keeping the legs where they are, extend your right arm up towards the ceiling and spread the fingers with the palm facing towards the ceiling or up. Push up with that right hand. As if you're trying to push the ceiling higher. Feel your shoulder blade, your shoulder lift up off the floor. Take another breath in here and then drop your shoulder blade into the mat. With your left hand, pull the right fingers back. Start to circle from that thumb. And if you can't circle, just creating movement or shapes with the thumb. Change direction of whatever shape you're going. And then flip the right palm down and pull the back of the hand, pushing up with the front of the wrist. From here, the thumb, allow it to travel over towards the little finger and the little finger towards the thumb. Even without them touching, feel something in your wrist, a wrist strengthening exercise here. Take a breath in, feel a stretch in the front of the wrist, and then relax that right arm down by your side. Extend the left hand up towards the ceiling, the left palm facing up. Push up so your shoulder blade lifts. Take a breath in here, and then drop that shoulder blade down, pulling your fingernails or your fingers in towards you. With the right hand, feel a stretch and then start to circle the left thumb. Creating movement in this left thumb joint. Change direction of the thumb or the movement. And then flip the left hand down and with your right hand, pull the back of the left hand. Same time, that left thumb and little finger moving closer together, strengthening the wrists here. Or your left wrist. 1 more breath in and release. Entwine the fingers and just start making waves with the arms, with the fingers, loosening out through those wrists. From here, keep the fingers entwined and then pull your knees into your chest. Gently rock from side to side here. Putting a little bit of pressure on the finger joints, massaging the base of the spine, the lumbar spine on the floor. We're going to transition into a double leg stretch from here. So a gentle version. Release the fingers, hands on your shins. Breathe and hook those knees in so tight that a reverse curl happens. Exhale, stretch your legs up towards the ceiling and arms hovering off the floor with the palms facing up. Maybe the feet are in Pilates V. Breathing in, hug in, peel the tail up if that's available to you. Exhale, stretch the legs out, palms facing up. Breathing in, hug those knees in. And breathe out, stretch and find length. Breathing in, hug the knees in, tailbone lifts. And exhale, stretch and find length. 2 more here. Breathe in, hug in. And breathe out, stretch and find length. And then 1 more time. Breathe in, hug in. And exhale, stretch and find length. Slip the 2 hands to the back of your right leg and lower the left leg to hover off the floor. Pull twice here and then switch. Right leg hovers off the floor. You can shorten the gap of the scissors if you feel it's too much. Keep the head on the floor, the neck long, the spine long, the core in that mild engagement. And you're switching that entwinement of the finger from one leg to the other. So those movement in the finger joints, the hands still. And 1 more set here, right and left. And then 2 knees come back into the chest. Gently rock from side to side. Place your left hand to the inside of that right knee, your right hand towards the ankle. Extend the left leg up towards the ceiling again for a gentle version of single leg stretch. We pull, we switch, right hand to the inside of that left ankle or left knee, your left hand towards the ankle. And then from here, we're going to progress. So lifting through the head and the chest, sending that leg lower, the one that's extending out, pulling in the opposite knee, using the upper body strength. The chin is tucked, peeling your shoulder blades up off the floor, using your arm strength as we pull and switch. Pull and switch. Draw the belly button towards that lower back. Engage your core. If you've lost that connection, breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth if that's possible for you. And one more time, right and left, right and left. And relax. Bend your knees so your feet are on the floor, arms resting down by your side. Breathe in, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, we're going to press into those hands, that arms down by your side, lift those hips up, squeeze the glutes, and then lower the spine down. Breathe in, press the hands into the floor, lift those hips up, and then lower back down. So a little different now, or a little faster. We're going to reach up, and then lift the hips straight away, hands to the floor. Lift up, spine down, and then spine up, arms down. So a bit of coordination involved, squeezing the glutes. Moving from your shoulder joints now as we lift the hips, press the arms into the floor, and then the spine comes down, arms overhead. Keep those knees strong and steady. Using every part of your foot, the heel, the base of the toes or the balls of your feet, the outer edges of the feet, the toes themselves, as we lift and squeeze those glutes. One more time. Okay. From here, reach the arms overhead, keep the hips on the floor, and exhale, lift up into a C crunch. Breathe in, the arms come overhead. Squeeze the thumbs and the fingers together, lift up again, peel the shoulder blades up. And then inhale, reach the arms over. Exhale, lift, squeeze the breath out. Squeeze the sit bones together. And then inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, lift up. Squeeze the breath out. Squeeze those sit bones. And then inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, lift, squeeze the breath out. Inhale, arms over. Exhale, lift, building up the tummy muscles. Now this time we're going to hold the position, breathe out. Staying here, right leg into tabletop. Extend and point the toes. Bend the knee back in. Extend and point the toes. Only one more here. Breathe in. Extend and point the toes. Bend the knee in. Place the foot on the floor. Reach the arms over. Take a break. Inhale. Exhale, lift up. Left leg into tabletop. Straight away. Extend the leg and bend it back in. Extend. And bend back in. One more only. Extend and bend back in. Lower the left foot. Reach the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, straight right leg up towards the ceiling. Breathe out. Lower that straight right leg to hover off the floor. Breathe in. Exhale, straight back up. Inhale, lower to hover. Breathe out, straight back up. Lower to hover. Now 2 hands to the back of that right leg and twine the fingers and start to circle the ankle. Change direction of the circle. Get rid of any clicks. And then point and flex a few times. Wave the foot from side to side, getting as much movement into that foot as possible. Then bend your right knee, place the foot on the floor. Breathe in, arms overhead. Left leg lifted straight up. Lower to hover, breathe in. Exhale and lower. Breathe out, lift up and lower. Breathe out, lift up and lower. Breathe out, lift up and lower. Straight left leg up towards the ceiling, same thing. Circle the ankle on the left side. Get rid of any clicks here. Change direction. And then wave the foot from side to side, getting rid of any clicks. And then bend that left knee, place the left foot on the floor. We're going to do 2 legs, so breathe in, reach the arms over. Exhale, 2 legs up towards the ceiling. Bend the knees and just tap the toes. Breathe out. Inhale, bend the knees, tap the toes. Exhale, straight up towards the ceiling. Bend the knees, tap the toes. Breathe out. So lots of flexion work here, peeling the shoulder blades up off the floor. Last 2, breathe in and breathe out. One more time, inhale and exhale. Hold it. Start pulsing vigorously from those arms, so from the shoulders. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. Inhale and exhale. A little different now. Widen the legs out, make room for the arms, transition the arms to the inside and start pulsing vigorously. Inhale, feel the shortening in the chest. Exhale, we're only doing 1 more breath cycle. Inhale and exhale, circle around, hands to the backs of the legs, point the toes. Breathe in, lower the head, extend the legs. Exhale, bend the knees, tap the toes, lift the head. Breathing in, lowering the head, extend the legs. Exhale, looking in between those legs, tap the toes. This time we're coming up, breathe in, breathe out. Bend the knees, come up, do it again. Roll back this time. Exhale, bring it up, massaging the spine. Tuck the chin, breathe in, roll. Exhale, bring it up. Breathe in, roll back. And exhale, bring it up. Breathe in, roll back. And exhale, bring it up. 2 to go. Breathe in, roll back. Exhale, bring it up. 1 last time. Breathe in, roll back. And exhale, bring it up. Cross the ankles, place your hands on your knees. Thumbs on the inside, wrap the fingers around the outside. I'm going to move in a circular direction or motion. So chest towards your right leg, your center, your left leg, up towards your left shoulder, your right shoulder. And then change direction. Maybe allow the head to move as well. Everything's slowing. The breath, the body. And then 1 more time in this direction. And come back to center, uncross those legs, feet flat on the floor, hands to the backs of the legs. Breathe in, lift the chest up, stack your shoulders over your hips. Exhale, drop down off your sit bones. Notice that posterior pelvic tilt. Inhale, find length again, arrive on your sit bones. Exhale, scooping through the core, draw the belly button towards the lower back. And then find length coming up. Breathing out, dropping back, arms extending out. Inhaling, finding length high on those sit bones. Dropping down off the sit bones. This time as you find length, extend your right leg. Drop down off the sit bones. And then as you come up, extend the left leg. Chest is open. You'll feel the tension build in those arms as you extend one leg. And then bend it in as we drop back. And then lift up, extend the left leg. And bend. We're doing 1 more. Extend that right leg, chest open, and drop off the sit bones, and then extend the left leg. We're going to push off with the feet, stretch the legs out, tap the toes, bend the knees as you come up. Bend the knees or extend the legs, and then tap the toes. 1 last time, extend and tap. From here, finding a tall seated position with your legs mat width or maybe a little wider, if that's okay for you. Press the backs of the knees down towards the floor. Notice if this makes you round, which most of us will. And then roll your shoulders back, up and down. And then bend those knees if you need to. So we straighten as much as we possibly can through that thoracic spine. With your left arm, place it behind or to the base of the spine with the palm facing out. And then with your right arm, wrap it around you're to the left side of the waist. So you're creating like a corset or a brace for your tummy here. And then lift the chest. Exhale, round forward. You won't be able to go as far forward because you've got a barrier there with your right arm. Inhale, lift the chest. Press into the left arm. Shoulders back and down. Exhale, pull with that right arm as we round through the spine, scooping in through the core, creating a C curve in the spine. And then inhale, lifting up one last time like this. And then exhaling, rounding and scooping. We're stretching out those hamstrings all the while we're moving from the spine, lifting up here. Keeping the left hand where it is, with your right hand, gently guide that right ear to the shoulder. So right hand, left side of the head. Don't bring the whole body with you, just the weight of the head. Take a breath in. And then exhale, release the left arm across the waist, right arm, slip it to the base of the spine, palm facing behind. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round down, pull with that left arm. Breathing in, lifting the chest, pressing into the back with the right forearm, and then rounding down. Feel the stretch in the back, but also in the backs of the legs. And one last time, breathe in. Exhale, round down, pulling with that left arm. And then lift the chest up, find length here. And with your left hand, guide that left ear towards the left shoulder, feeling a stretch. Breathing into the stretch. One last breath in. And then release. Hands to the backs of the legs, climb those legs. See if you can take hold of your feet. Maybe your toes, maybe it's the backs of the legs, doesn't matter. The furthest point you can get with the legs wide, and then actively pull the upper body between the legs. Tuck the chin to the chest. Notice how this affects your stretch in your spine. It'll travel. Take a breath in. Exhale, let go a little further. And then lift up slowly. Flipping now over onto your right side. Find length here on the right side. With your right leg out in front of the midline, press the outer edge of the foot into the floor. You also have the option to bend this right leg if it feels uncomfortable here. Place your left hand on your hip, get a good hold of that left hip joint and lift the left leg up. Zip up through your tummy muscles. We're going to start to draw, or we're going to draw little circles, that left hip joint. Engaging your core. Knee facing forward, so no outward or inward rotation of the hip. Change direction of the circle. And then relax down with that left leg. Reach up and over with the left arm. Find length here. Breathe in. Exhale, come up, crunch. We're going to hold this position. So you're squeezing those obliques. Add little pulses. Up, down, up, down. Breathing in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Squeezing out those obliques. And if your neck is tired, use those right fingertips. A few more. And relax. Take hold of your left foot with your left hand, pulling your heel to your bum. The knee coming in line with the spine. Let the head feel heavy. Maybe move it from side to side. Push forward a little bit more. Kick into the hand with the foot. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, release. 2 legs in line now. Resting your left arm on your side if you can balance. Zip up those tummy muscles. Imagine a nice cube between the side of the waist and the mat. Breathing in from here, we kick forward with that top leg. And then exhale, return it to the start. Breathing in, kicking forward. And breathing out, bringing it back. Inhaling, kicking forward. And then exhaling, bringing it back to the start. Breathing in, kicking forward. And breathing out, bringing it back to the start. Last 2 here. Inhale, kick. And exhale. One last time. Breathe in, kick forward. And breathe out, bring it back. Knees bent now with the feet behind the hips, in line with your hips in line with your shoulders. Reach away with your left arm and slip the left fingernails to the right side of the waist, relaxing that left shoulder. Lift the left knee up and then lower it down. Do it again, lifting that left knee up and then releasing back to the start. Breathing in, lifting up and then lowering back down. Inhale, lifting up and then releasing back down with control. Breathe in, lift. Allow the head feel heavy here and release back down. Breathe in, lifting up and then lowering it back down. 2 to go. Breathe in, lift up. And breathe out, lower. And last one, inhale, lift up. And then release back down. Bend the knees in close to the body now. 2 arms come out in front, palms of the hands together. Allow the head to feel heavy. We're going to cactus with this left arm. So breathe in, cactus the arm behind. Inhale, extend to rest on your right. Breathing in, cactusing the arm behind. And then bringing it back to the start. Breathing in, cactus the arm behind for 2 more. And then the arm back to the start one last time. Cactus the arm behind. And then release, rotating or twisting from the waist. Cactus and hold the position. If you want from here, slipping your left fingernails back in underneath the right side of the waist. Lowering that inner elbow to the floor, turning to look over the left shoulder. And then with your left knee, start to pull it up towards your right hand, and if you can, take hold of your right foot, or maybe it's the outside of, your left foot, maybe it's the outside of the left leg, and if you can, straighten it out a little bit, and then look over that left shoulder that bit more. So opening up through the left side of the shoulder, feeling a stretch in the outer hip. Staying in this position, breathe into it. And then exhale, release out of it. Slowly making your way back to the start. Pushing yourself up with that left hand to find your right elbow. Your elbow in line with your shoulder, your forearm out in front. And then the knees bent with the feet behind. Reaching up and away with your left arm. Take a breath in here and then exhale, lift the entire left leg as we twist, or not even twist, fold. Breathing in, find length, looking towards that left hand, and exhale, squeeze. Breathing in, and exhale, squeeze. Breathing in, finding length, and exhale, squeeze. The hips dip. 2 more like this. Breathe in, and breathe out, squeeze. And one last time, breathe in, and exhale, squeeze. From here, flip over onto your hands and your knees, and then place the forearms onto the floor. Entwine the fingers, and if you can, rest your forehead on your thumbs and engage the tummy muscles, drawing your belly button up towards the lower back, finding a posterior pelvic tilt. Hold it, breathe in, and then exhale, release it into your anterior pelvic tilt, your tailbone up, your belly dips. So you can stack fists if you're finding it hard. Find that posterior pelvic tilt again. And then releasing into your anterior pelvic tilt. So noticing how these movements, or this movement of your posterior pelvic tilt, ripples through the body. It affects the other parts. Notice it even in your knees as your hips shift up. Your belly is more exposed. Your tail is in the air. There's a shortening of the spine. Notice how it affects the weight distribution in the body. You're rounding through that lower back. You may feel that pressure in your forearms. As you release, you may feel a let go in the shoulders. They drop slightly. One more time like this. Releasing, engaging, and then lifting the head up from wherever it is. Place one forearm in front of the other and rest the forehead down. Just staying here for a couple of breath cycles with the tail relaxed, the spine relaxed, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. One last breath in here. Exhale, lift up and flip over onto your left side, beginning on your forearm and your elbow with the knees behind, or the knees away, the feet behind in line with your hips. From here, we reach over with your right arm, inhale, exhale. Elbow to hip, knee and foot lifts. Breathing in, lift up. And then exhale, crunching. Breathing in, lifting up. And then exhaling, crunching in. Breathing in, lifting up, targeting those obliques, your hip mobility here, your inner tummy muscles with that breath combination. Exhale. Inhale, find length. And exhale, crunch in. 2 more just like this, breathing in. And exhaling out. And then last one, breathe in. And exhaling out. From here, lowering down onto a long left arm. Sending your left leg out in front, pressing the outer edge of the left foot into the floor. Place your right hand on your hip and lift up that left leg or right leg and start circling. So it doesn't matter which way you're circling because we're going to change direction. But isolating this right hip joint, relaxing through your right shoulder here. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. Change direction of the circle. Breathing in through the nose again and out through the mouth. Maybe notice if one way feels a little stiffer or easier to move from. Last couple here. And then release. From here, bend the knees with the feet behind. Reach back with your right arm and slip the right fingernails to the left side of the waist, relaxing the head completely here. So the knees are together and we lift up that top knee and then we lower it back down for a climb. So targeting the hip, especially that right hip, as we lift and lower, breathing in and breathing out, releasing back down. Inhaling, lifting up. And then exhaling, releasing back down. Breathing in, lifting up. And breathing out, lowering back down. Inhaling, lifting up again. And breathing out, lowering back down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, release. And one more time, breathe in, lift up. And lower back down. Extend the 2 legs now in line with your spine, reaching the top arm over. Breathe in here and breathe out. We come up into that crunch, holding this position here. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. Inhaling and exhaling out. And one more breath, holding here. And then releasing out. Bending the 2 knees forward. And the arms or the hands coming together. Rest the head. We cactus with the right arm. Breathe in, opening up. And then exhaling. That hand comes back down to the left hand. Breathing in, opening up. Chest opens up. And then releasing back down, finding length. Breathing in, opening up. And then closing, and this time we hold a position. So open up and hold. And then slipping your right fingertips to the left side of the waist again, lowering that inner elbow to the floor, the head up towards the ceiling. And then start to guide your left knee, your right knee up towards your left hand. Maybe take hold of the foot, maybe it's a leg, but straightening it out a little bit to feel a deeper stretch in the outside of that right hip. Allow the head to feel heavy. Feel the stretch, enjoy the stretch. Notice if one side feels stiffer than the other. Take a breath in here and then exhale, release everything. Slowly coming back to the start, pushing yourself up and then flipping over onto your belly with your forearms either side of the mat, wagging your tail, toes tucked. Letting go of any tension in the thighs. Point the toes and then just kicking the feet. And then relaxing the feet here, tuck the chin in. Breathe in, just peel the head and the chest up. The movement coming from the thoracic or the mid-spine. Glue that lower body or your pelvis to the floor. And then exhale, release back down slowly and controlled. Breathing in, peeling up. Imagine someone's pulling you forward from the crown of your head and back, from the tail, and then lowering back down slowly and controlled. Breathing in, lifting up, squeezing the glutes with the sit bones together to anchor down from the lower part of your body, and then releasing back down slowly. Breathing in, imagine you're moving through water, and breathing out, lowering back down. Let's do 2 more just like this, lifting up and lowering down. And 1 more time, breathing and lifting up and lowering back down. From here, float the arms up, pull your elbows into your ribs. Exhale, lower back down slowly with control. Breathe in, lift up and squeeze the elbows into the ribs. And then lower back down with control. Breathing in, lifting up, squeezing the elbows in. And then lower back down with control and breathe in, lift and squeeze the elbows in. Lower back down with control. We're going to do 2 more. Lift up and squeeze the elbows in. And lower back down with control. 1 last time. Breathe in, lift and squeeze the elbows in. And lower back down with control. Slide the hands in underneath your shoulders. We're going to draw the elbows down towards the hips as we lift up. Same movement, just a different positioning of the arms. Lifting up, extension again. Imagine that pulling of the crown of the head and the pulling of the tail. Breathing in, press the hips, the pubic bone into the floor. And then releasing the elbows, rise slightly, breathing in, peeling the chest up. Drop those elbows. And then release back down. Breathing in, lifting up. And then releasing back down with control. 2 to go here. Breathe in. And breathe out. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. So let's bring a leg in. So right leg bends as you peel back up. Drop those elbows. Extend the right leg, lower the chest. Left knee bends as we lift the chest up. And then release it back down. Right knee bends as we peel the chest up. Drop those elbows down. And release. And then the left knee bends as we lift up. And release back down. 1 more set, just like this. Right knee bends, that repetition, building up the strength in the spine. And then lower. And then the left knee bends, lift up. And then lower back down. Tuck the toes under here. Add a forward and back movement, loosening through the feet, the Achilles heels. And then take a breath in, exhale, push yourself up and reach those hips back. Press the armpits to the floor, allow the forehead to meet the mat too, if it will, and gently soften 1 elbow towards the floor and then lift it up, other elbow towards the floor and lift it up. Loosening through those shoulder blade muscles. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. 1 more time, right and left. And then lift the head, look forward in between those thumbs. Take a breath in, exhale, pounce into your half plank position. Holding here for 3 breath cycles, adjust if you need to. Your wrists are tracking your elbows tracking your shoulders. Tailbones tucked, breathing in and breathing out. See if you can lift that right knee up and hold here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. 2 more breath cycles. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, neck is long. And exhale out. 1 more breath in. And breathe out. Lower that right knee gently and lift the left knee up. Keep the body weight shifted or as evenly distributed between those 3 points of balance as much as possible. 2 more breath cycles here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. 1 more deep breath in. And breathe out. Lower that left knee, reach the hips back. Press the armpits to the floor. And then crawl forward in your mat. Either send the knees one way, the hips the other, or across the ankles, and sit back onto your heels or your hips. And then placing your feet hip width apart, plant those hands behind your hips, spread the fingers. So you notice you're high on your tail here, your sit bones. And then we're lifting the chest up, finding that extension. And then releasing. Doing this again 2 more times, lifting up, just finding that extension. Notice how you arrive on your sit bones. And then you drop down off them towards the tail. One last time, breathe in. And breathe out. Hands to the backs of the legs now. Push off and allow yourself to rock onto your back. Hugging the knees in, gently rock from side to side. Allow the head to join in too. And then make your way into a position, a shape that feels nice for you. And maybe it's the way we started the class with the feet wide and the knees together. Or maybe you're sprawled out in a different way. But allow yourself to rest now. The mind, the body slowing, the breath relaxed. The rhythm of your breath is relaxed. Your belly open, your heart center open. Breathing into all of that space created in the torso, the chest, the belly, the back, the sides, the pelvis. Breathing in, filling up, and breathing out, letting go. Now sending some movement to the fingers, the toes, wriggling those toes and fingers, and gently allowing your head to move from right to left. Sliding your knees into your belly, giving yourself a cuddle and rocking from side to side. And then whenever you're ready, take a breath in, breathe out, rock up into a seated position. Well done, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.